Hey everybody, welcome back to Family Firearm Reviews. Kyle here, and today we're going to check out the BRG 9 Elite. Now it did come with this nice full range kit, 2 mags, we have our mag loader, all of our cleaning equipment, so it's a great starter kit, but it is on the budget end. I think I was able to get this out the door for $237. I've seen them online for as low as $199. They're supposed to MSRP at $399. Now, with all of these cool features, we're going to dive right into the numbers, so let's get into those. With the firearm, we do get a 4-inch barrel. We're running an overall length of 7.4 inches, an overall height of 5.5 inches, an overall width of 1.4 inches, and we're running a weight of around 30 ounces. Now, a trigger pull of 4.15 pounds, so it's actually a pretty light trigger for a striker-fired firearm, and we're running a 16+1 capacity here, and it does come with 2 magazines. It is supposed to be compatible with the XD mags. If you look at our other video, we did get it in there, it did seat, it did lock in, but today we're going to go out to the range and actually test it. So with the numbers out of the way, let's get into the features. So with the features of this firearm, you do get some very nice quality features on a budget-ended firearm. Now, we do get some nice aggressive front and rear slide serrations on this firearm. They're really easy to grip. You're going to have no issues gripping those when you're out on the range. We do get a nice set of 3-dot sights. We have 2 white in the rear, and you got kind of a red-orange dot in the front. So those sights are really easy to pick up, especially when I was transitioning. I ran this through my Mantis just to see how it felt in my hand. Lauren did too, and it worked great. It does have interchangeable back straps. It came with a medium one on, but there is a small and large, so you can adjust this for your mitt. We left the medium one on because that fits our hands pretty well. We do have a ambi mag release right here and right here, but it only has a right-handed slide stop slide release on this firearm. It does have a loaded chamber indicator right there, which when you have the firearm out on the range, you'll be able to see it. It'll pop up a hair, and we'll show that later today. It also has a striker indicator. It shows that the striker is cocked, not that the chamber has a round in it, but just that your striker is cocked. And if you see here, if we pull the trigger, that disappears, right? But you have to depress the grip safety and the trigger safety. So it does have a dual safety on the firearm. As you can see here, we have the typical grip safety and a nice flat rise trigger. It has a generous trigger guard, so if you wear gloves or you have something like that, it's going to be very easy for you to get your hand in there. There's not a lot of aggressive stippling on here, and you do have finger grooves on the firearm, kind of reminiscent of the Glock Gen 3s. But this is really smooth, not really any sandpaper there. Now the slide stop slide release is pretty big, so if you're going to ride that like a gas pedal, you could. And then the takedown levers there too, where you could apply some pressure while you are out there shooting, give you kind of a place to put your index finger. Now with that, when you put your hands there, you've got some nice places, nice placement, nice hand grip. It really feels good, lots of real estate in purchase. You have a pretty aggressive undercut here, so that is pretty deep. And then you do have some stippling right here, you know, some texture on the front of that grip if you're someone that likes to do things like that. Now with that, we do get our 16-round mags, and when we put those in, you can see they were unloaded, but they shoot right out, right? If I could turn this to the side, you know, you don't have to strip the mags. They're actually pretty good. Even if I put them up at a 45, they're still going to pop out. So it is a nice little system. I will tell you the way that the mags are gripped is different. There's actually a little, you know, half U right here. That's how the mags lock in and how they work and how they're released. So they don't have the little typical side cuts like a lot of the other firearms we have. This did come with a mag loader. So if you have, you know, mag loading issues or grip issues, you can easily grab this and load up the magazines. We are going to test it with some of our different options here to hold the mags. As you can see, we have our universal one that's kind of has kind of a rubber band around the outside, and we just have the universal ones that we picked up at Field and Stream. These will all work for you out on the range. You can see these ones are a little tight versus the Pitbull one. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this because I use this concealed carry and when I'm out on the range. With that, we are going to run through our 150 rounds. We're going to run some Fiocchi 124 grain, some Gecko 115, and then we're going to run 50 rounds of our Winchester white box, right? So this is kind of the budget end of the firearms there. We've had a few issues with this, so we'll see if the BRG 9 has any issues with that. We're also going to run our XD mag and see if it works. So we did pick this up, and I'll let you know at the end. It's 16 rounds too. Remember, it's seated a little different if you watch one of our other videos, but we'll see if it actually functions and locks back with our XD mag so we can see if it is actually compatible. With that, I also want to talk about some of the links down below. We do have a merch shop, we do have a Patreon, and we do have an Instagram. If you guys want to check some of those links out below. We are doing this independently and we love doing it. And we do want to thank everybody that has liked, shared our videos, and joined our page so far. We're really making some good strides and we super appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, we are not monetized. Again, doing this all out of our pockets. There's some links below if you want to grab a t-shirt or anything like that. There's designs like this, or we have other designs that Lauren designed for the ladies. So go ahead and check those out. Otherwise, we're going to get out to the range and get to the important stuff. So we're out here on the range with our BRG 9. We're going to run our accuracy test. So we're going to take 3 shots. I'm at about probably 8 to 10 yards here, somewhere in that range. So let's give her a go. Oh. Well, that's not good. Striker's not working. Fail. It's doing light primer strikes. Try some different ammo. Good thing I wasn't depending my life on this. Striker indicator. There we go. So those ones are a little low and to the left with these first sights. Pretty decent little group though. So I had some issues. We'll see if I can run some of that ammo again. But it seemed like I was getting some light primer strikes there right off the rip. So now let's get Lauren to get her accuracy test in. So we did run our XD mag, it did work fine. That's what we did. Some of our accuracy tests, you saw we had some light primer strikes. It's all the Winchester white box ammo, so I'm not sure if it's just that ammo. Remember, this gun is made in Turkey, so maybe it needs a NATO load, but it gave him kind of a light primer strike, but it did run some of the others. So I'm gonna run the last 7 of these rounds, see if it'll lock back with the Springfield mag. We'll go from there. So it did lock back with the Springfield mag, but we did have 2 additional light primer strikes with the firearm. So let's keep going. Does not like the UTG light. I screwed it on there and I saw it wasn't really gripping, and it did pop right off during those shots. So, good durability test though for the UTG. Ran that Winchester, only one light primer strike. So we've come to the conclusion, really doesn't like the Winchester. Now that we've got our first 150 try shots, let's get to the table and get our final thoughts on these first shots. Hey everybody, now that we have our 150 rounds through the BRG 9 Elite, we did have some issues today, but it was all with the Winchester ammo, so I'm 100% going to say this was ammo related. We did have 11 rounds where we have light primer strikes, but again, we've had some issue with this bulk Winchester 9mm ever since we got it, this white box. So it's kind of fought us. It just doesn't really work with this firearm, so we'll just know that, be aware. All those light primer strikes were the Winchester, the Gecko, and the Fiocchi ran flawlessly through the firearm. We had no issues with that. Now with that, it kind of puts a damper on the gun that it's not going to shoot anything, but again, with that Winchester, I'm not really going to fault it or say it's the gun's fault, it's more the ammo. It was comfortable in the hand, it has good ergonomics, it's very nice, it has a pretty good high weight. That slide, the press checking, you know, the indicator, the sights transitioning from target to target was well. The accuracy was all right. We did spend some time on our Mantis with this at our house, and it did help out, I believe. It's not great that it's not ambi. It does have the ambi mag release, but no ambi slide stop or anything like that. The only safety you have is the grip safety and the trigger safety, but the trigger did feel good when it did go off and when we didn't have any issues. It was quick to clear the rounds when we did have malfunctions with the firearm. It did feel actually very comfortable. The ergonomics are nice in your hand when you're out there shooting. The finger grooves, really, you can't tell they're there. I did see someone actually ground those off and did a stippling job, so they'll show you how to do that if you're interested in doing something like that. The chamber indicator, you could tell it was there, but it was very light. It didn't come up quite as high as our regular Springfield XDMs. It does have a lot of metal, you know, captured recoil spring and things like that. It has a lot of the upgrades, but I mean, if it's just going to be a throw-around gun or you're just getting into shooting and you don't want to invest a lot, I think this would be a good package. Just remember, it's not going to like all the ammo out there. So you're going to have to test the ammo that you have to make sure that you can rely on this, especially if you were going to have this in a home defense situation. It did not like our lighter laser because this rail is actually kind of thick. It's a very thick rail on the front, so I couldn't get the UTG light to fit on the front. So that was something that was kind of a downside. You're going to have to definitely take this, size the flashlight or whatever you're going to put light laser on here. Make sure it does fit on this pick rail when you did get it. So what did you think about it?
So I actually enjoyed shooting it. There were some things I had reservations about. The sort of lack of grip and stippling here is something that I typically don't go for. And I was a little worried about this safety feature back here and just how all that would feel in the hand. But honestly, I didn't have any trouble shooting it. Running it with the Mantis, I think, set me up to do a little bit better at the range. But overall, I was impressed with how it felt in the hand, how it shot. I like having that orange sight and the white in the back. That gives me a little better acquisition. And I have to keep reminding myself that for the price, everything about this is really actually pretty nice. And the things that I'm picking at are really nitpicking when you're talking about what it comes in for. So if you were thinking about using it as a first gun or just getting into it, it's gonna give you everything that you need, and it's got a lot of neat stuff. It's not the best, maybe not everything's perfect, but I think it's a really great starting point to have out there and to know about being out there as an option.
That's definitely, I agree. And it does take, so the Springfield mags, and they were, I think, $22, $25. Or if you try to get the BRG mags, they're charging like $32 to $35. And it did lock back. It ran this mag flawlessly. We had no issues. And then the black ones are the ones it came with. So they are all steel mags. So you're going to get some good longevity when you drop them out there if you want to do quick reloads, things like that. But the XD mags, as you can see, have a smaller base plate than the BRGs, and that is really the only difference between the mags themselves. So with that, I hope you guys liked the review. Come and check out another one, and thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Comment below. We want to hear from you. Get more content from Family Firearm Reviews by joining our Patreon and checking out the links in the description.